Good morning and welcome to episode 13 of the 3 levels of mind. Within the 3 levels of mind there are quite a few different concepts, although they are easy to follow and relatively simple when you understand them all. But the one I want to talk about today specifically is primal pain. What is it and how do we get it? The current narrative really talks about trauma, childhood trauma or any sort of trauma. Well, it's actually trauma that causes primal pain, or in the 3 levels of mind, we call it's actually lack of love. Love is a very important thing in a human life, and if we don't get love, it means that we're not going to survive, because if our parents don't love us, well then our life's in danger. And that's a very important point to understand when we discuss things like anxiety and depression, why they're such forceful things sometimes. Well, they have the power of life and death behind them. If I don't get loved, I'm going to die. And so we need to understand that, and it's when we don't get love, it produces primal pain. So in an ideal situation, ideal world where we get all the love we need, we end up with a global area of love of above 80, where oxytocin flows, we have good relationships, we have good health, and whatever else comes with the feeling of love. But if we don't get that love, well then we get primal pain. It causes us pain, primal pain, and then that reduces our ability to be humans. Primal pain compresses us in like this. We become tight and fearful of life. That's basically what primal pain does to us. So it's very important to understand that. It's a life and death situation, so it's a very powerful force. In my own life, I was right down here. I had a real lot of primal pain, and if I just go to turn this one, you can see that we've got love in there and primal pain and fear all mixed in. But that's basically what I had here: a lot of fear, a lot of primal pain. What we're aiming for is to get the lower part of the brain here to be loved, and then we don't have primal pain. So so we get primal pain through lack of love, and yes, it does close a person down. Now the thing with primal pain is we set up a defense system against ever feeling our pain, and it's the defense system that makes us sick. And the defense system consists of things like drugs, all types of drugs, alcohol, and then smoking, the pharmaceutical drugs, and then the illicit drugs like heroin and ecstasy and those sorts of things. They're a defense system against feeling our pain, against feeling our primal pain. Now, when I went through primal therapy, the primal pain was more than I could ever imagine, and that's the same with everybody that I went through therapy with. Primal pain, we carry more primal pain than we can imagine, I suppose, or the only word I can think of at the moment. So that's an important thing. Our defense systems are so good that people are just walking around the street don't realise how much their minds are run by primal pain. If we take off the intellectual brain and the feeling brain, we're just left with this brain. This is where we store primal pain, and it happens right from our early days when we are small babies. We only have this part of our brain. This part of the brain hasn't developed as yet. This is where primal pain is imprinted and what we need to deal with. Primal pain is stored at that level of the brain. The upside to that is that once you get rid of primal pain, the upside is greater than that we can imagine. And I cover that in this diagram here with primal pain. The current psychological people probably think that, yeah, we have that much primal pain, but when you actually do it, like this is a graph or a scale, where it's only that bad. But in actual fact, it goes right down here. You've got to go really right down deep into your subconscious to get it out. The good part is that psychiatry and psychology sort of would say that our lives can be that good. But once you've got rid of your primal pain, life can be this good and keep on growing. And I'm an example of that. That's what my life's done. I've actually got rid of my primal pain, and before I said primal pain closes your body in like this. If you get rid of your primal pain, you open up like that. Everything opens up. Life opens up. You don't have depression. You don't have anxiety. So that's an important thing to remember. And if you want to understand what that is, I've got for near-death experiences, when people describe near-death experiences, what their experience is this part of their brain free from trauma and free from our activity and free from our defense system that's brought about by these other two layers of brain. Now, Gilbert Taylor is a person that had a brain hemorrhage on the left side, and then she had an operation. When she was coming out of that operation, she basically became enlightened. But when she was what she was experiencing for this part of her brain. So if you want to Google Gilbert Taylor, she'll explain what it's like to live a life without primal pain, or to have your brain without primal pain. So that's the important thing. Now I'll deal with it here. When you have primal pain, your system shuts down. So then you can't have much feeling because it shuts down the pain. Because it shuts down against your pain, it also shuts down against the loving feelings, and so you don't have much feeling. And that's the problem with the world today, is that we can't feel what we're doing to other people. We can't feel if we're hurting them. We can go to war and shoot people because we can't feel what we're doing to them, like the mess we're making. We can't feel it. So it's important not to have primal pain in our systems. We've got to be able, we are sensing, feeling beings, and that's where the richness of life comes from. And if we don't have that, we struggle. Our intellectual mind struggles if we don't have this solid foundation of love and being able to feel love, and then that comes through here so that we can experience that. Now, primal pain also means that primal pain stops us from feeling love, stops us from having love. So it's like when you get rid of primal pain, your system opens up again. So that means that you don't need all these cognitive behaviour therapies. You don't need medication. You just need to get primal pain out of your system, and that's what Janov primal therapy does. That's what it aims to do. It starts there, goes into your feelings, and then it goes right down in here into the lower part of your brainstem or midbrain brainstem, and it gets rid of the primal pain out of there. And it doesn't use medication, doesn't use going for a walk in the forest or whatever else they're doing. You don't need to meditate. You don't need to sit for hours studying your navel. You just need to go down there and get rid of your primal pain. It's a very painful experience, but it's the only way. It's the only way to get better. Or yes, it is the only way to get better is to get rid of primal pain, and that's the importance of understanding how we get primal pain and the effects of primal pain on our brain. It damages who we are as humans. It gives us depression, gives us anxiety, gives us all our mental disorders. And so we need to get rid of primal pain out of the system. And the thing that I understand about primal pain is that once I went to the coalface and understood what primal pain does, it gives me the strength and the power to say, well, let's get rid of primal pain. Understand what it is, and then don't put it in the human brain in the first place. That's what we need to, that's the paradigm that we need to understand. The 3 levels up paradigm. Start with no primal pain in that level of the body, then we have good feelings, and then our intellectual mind will behave in the best way it possibly can, making a wonderful human life. So that's primal pain. Now, when I give these talks, or the thing I want to say is that when you combine Yanov primal therapy with the 3 levels of mind, it's such a simple system. You know, so that's how I wrote the book, The Dysfunctional Brain, 1 Cause, 1 Cure. And that might be hard for people to understand, but I would recommend that you, if you're interested in this, stay with it, read my other books, look at my other videos. It's such a simple system to understand, and we need to adopt that as within the human race so that we can go forward into a much better future than what we're creating now.